Good afternoon. Good afternoon, kings and queens of the land. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all the lions of the Sahel, the ones who liberated the Sahel states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Good afternoon to President Zuma in South Africa, partially liberating KZ and the MK party, partially liberating KZ. And good afternoon, the Royals. My name is Mkhonto. This is the Royal Opinion. Today is the 25th of September 2025. That is the date currently going on. South Africa still under the British colony. We want to put it on record that this perspective existed in 2025. It was not a far-fetched perspective. The whitewashing that white people tried to make in 1994 did not necessarily um, eliminate a different perspective from these issues. So I want to put it on record that a different perspective existed. Some other people think South Africa is no more a colonized country, while everything about South Africa is still under the British control and under the Imperial America. All everything about South Africa has to be approved by the outsiders. Ramaphosa is South Africa's president, but South Africans cannot remove him. They majority of the South Africans, if you ask them, they don't like Ramaphosa to be in power at the moment. But South African cannot remove him because he is a colonial administrator. His strength does not come from the people; it comes from the colonial masters, who are the British and the Americans, and the French, working together to exploit African resources in that manner. Uh, Yesterday in South Africa, it was a day called Heritage Day. Looks like I'm in the sun. That is not moving. Thank you very much for joining. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yesterday in South Africa, which is 24 September, was Heritage Day. South Africans across the board were celebrating their heritage. But the funny thing about it is the heritage that South Africans are celebrating. The name heritage has even lost its meaning or its value, because heritage is something that comes that gets to be given to you, which you don't have to work for, which somebody who existed before you had prepared it for you to just inherit it for further use. That's inheritance. If you inherit a business from your parents, it means that's your inheritance. If you inherit One of the most important inheritance that black people have is the language. These days, black people are made to think that their inheritance is dancing for the white man, and the inheritance of black people is wearing the cultural clothes. That's our inheritance. But our inheritance in reality is not wearing the clothes. Our inheritance is the land which was left to us by our ancestors, by our parents, by our grandfathers and grandmothers, the land in which our grandmothers have worked, the same land left to us, who are the next generation, for us to further use the land which has been possessed by invaders who are our colonial masters at the moment. Black people don't have land, crammed in prison type of townships, establishments. Black people don't have the land. Black people don't have the land to plant if they want to plant food. So the inheritance of black people has been stolen. The inheritance which black people were supposed to take over has been stolen by the witches. The witches I'm referring to white people. When I talk about witches, I talk about white people. Those are the people who stole the inheritance. Miriam Makeba was exiled for more than 30 years. She couldn't bury her own mother because the apartheid government has chased her away from home because she sang a song. That's it. Because she sang a song. Nobody has apologized to Miriam Makeba or to black people for all the years that she spent in agony without the company of the people that she grew up with, without the company of her relatives. She had to be exiled to Equatorial Guinea because people did not want her to sing. White people did not want her to sing. We're still talking about the same people here. So our inheritance is not the cultural clothing. That is but a cosmetic appearance of what our inheritance is. Our inheritance is the land. Our inheritance is the animals which they have closed in the Kruger National Park. Our inheritance is the gold which they are mining to America. Our inheritance is the platinum which is in Kukuneland, which they are taking to Europe. While they are busy stealing our inheritance, they make us dance on 24 September thinking that we're celebrating heritage while all our heritage has been stolen. There's nothing to celebrate. Our language has been stolen. Our culture has been uh, genocided. The cultural genocide has been committed in our culture. Another cultural genocide is still continuing to date. The judgment that happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where the constitutional court judges said a man can become can take the surname of the wife. That's another genocidal method of wiping out our inheritance. Our inheritance is the language which was given to us by our great ancestors, the language which they have been using to manifest good things in their lives, the language which is already destroyed and stolen by the white people. Our inheritance is the environment which they have polluted. Our inheritance is the oceans which they have taken for their own benefits, for their own economic benefits. Our inheritance is the rivers which they have privatized to prevent access for black people. Black people don't have water wherever they are staying. Most black people don't have access to water, basic things, because our inheritance has been stolen. But we are made to celebrate someday. We are made to think. If you ask a child now what is an inheritance, they will tell you is the clothes. They will tell you is the dancing because there's nothing to inherit. The land has been stolen. What can you inherit? The white people have taken the land. What can we inherit? The culture is uh, getting destroyed. A woman can marry two men in South Africa. That is legal in South Africa, which is a cultural abomination. Men and men can marry in South Africa, which is a cultural abomination, cultural genocide. What is left for the future to inherit in this environment? I just wanted to pass a comment about Heritage Day, because this heritage, a lot of people are now misunderstanding. There's no, a lot of people, they don't understand what is happening. We think uh, if I have to talk about, let me comment a little bit about the day in which they say it's Heritage Day. The day in which they say it's Heritage Day is the day in which Shaka Zulu took over uh, the kingship of the Zulu people, the kingship of the Zulu people in KwaZulu Natal, the 24th of September. I think is it in 1817 or 1818, something like that. Shaka took over the government of the Zulu people. So this day was celebrated as Shaka Day. But because white people does not feel comfortable to promote the name of black people, even though Shaka Zulu himself supported white people, um, they had to change it so that it lose its context. Many people don't know that this is Shaka Day. Heritage Day is actually Shaka Day. I read a book called uh, God is Dead, where they detail, it's a strategy where they detailed on how they are going to take over Africa and how they are going to implement the colonial project in multi in multi-dimension. My friend Kenkon, long time, my man. It's the ANC that changed it. It's the ANC that changed it. But of course, you need to know one thing. Let me tell you about the ANC. The ANC has been captured since the 1930s. The ANC has been under control of white people since 1930 something. I think 1933. The ANC has been fully captured by white people since 1933. The only time where the ANC was in different hand or was recaptured for its purpose. It's in Pulukwane, 2009 conference of the Pulukwane conference, which appointed President Zuma to become the president of the ANC. Uh, that is the only time in which the ANC has been captured back to its purpose. The ANC has been captured back to white people again uh, when they removed President Zuma from the ANC. And when they put Ramaphosa in as their man, they have recaptured back the ANC, which was under the control of white people. The ANC have ordered in the past, they've ordered the killings of a lot of black people who were innocent and who were fighting for the rights of black people. But because they wanted the right to be the liberators, and they have agreed with white people that nobody else should exist outside the ANC if they want to be called the liberators. So they've destroyed a lot of people. There's quite a lot of crimes which have not been told, which were committed by the ANC, the Mandelas, and all these people who were leading the ANC. Some other black people were more afraid of the ANC than they were afraid of white people in the past. If you can make a research, you will find out that was the case. So uh, the ANC We can argue that it's not the ANC, it's the white people, because the ANC has been under the control of white people. They only lost control for about 8 years from 2009 to 2018, which they recaptured the control quickly, and took over the ANC. Now Ramaphosa has to ensure that he destroy the ANC and deliver it to the white people as uh, uh, a destroyed organization. He wants to give it to white people, give a clean report to white people that is actually destroyed. His project has been successful to destroy the ANC. That's why he's campaigning um, for the Democratic Alliance. He's saying the Democratic Alliance is doing better than the ANC in municipalities. I mean, President Ramaphosa, ANC has got a lot of councillors. They could have selected one who is doing well and demonstrated among themselves by that person who is doing well in the ANC than going to DA. He's saying the ANC should learn from the Democratic Alliance how to govern. Then let's give the Democratic Alliance the government if that's what Ramaphosa says. There's no need for the ANC to campaign anymore. And the Democratic Alliance, they only have to say, we have been um, what do we call, approved by the president to run the municipalities. So follow the president's instruction. Give us the municipalities to run. The Democratic Alliance does not have to campaign next year against the ANC. The Ramaphosa has already made a big step to decampaign the ANC on the municipalities next year, because Ramaphosa's project is to destroy the ANC and deliver it to white people destroyed. Kenkon. So we can say whatever the ANC has implemented over the years, it has been what their white masters have been instructing them to do. Whatever strategies they have been using, those are the strategies that they have adopted from their masters. Whatever method of governing and stealing, those are the methods that they've adapted from their masters. So we can say maybe if we beat the ANC, then the master is going to come out. Of course, when you beat the dog, the owner comes out. So if we beat the ANC, the master is going to come out. Um, Julius Malema has changed the tone about the commission, about Mkwanazi. Many people are wondering why Julius Malema have suddenly sounded in a different way. I was actually wondering as well. Uh, I think there should be many reasons why he's like that. But I've actually find out one reason which is compelling to me, very compelling, and that makes him to behave the way he's behaving. Mkhwanazi is exposing the people, the criminals, and is saying he's ready for the criminals. He says we are ready for the criminals. We are ready to face them. He says we are ready to face the parliamentarian who is a criminal. We are ready to face the executive who is a criminal. That's Mkwanazi talking. I actually want to share, maybe I should not share because everybody has got this. I've seen what Julius Malema is saying. I had him defending the white lady from the Democratic Alliance. Julius Malema was defending a white lady from the Democratic Alliance in the this committee thing, which is a duplicate of what the commission is doing, which they are acting like there's something that they are doing while even like it's shocking how Malema is acting because he had this information since 6 March. Mkwanazi has delivered this report to them on 6 March. They never acted. And then now Malema is treating like this is an emergency, it's an emergency, while they waited for so long. After Mkwanazi has exposed all those, he's exposed, and the commission is still exposing. Uh, Malema showed a little bit of support after waiting for a very long time before commenting. He showed some support to General Mkwanazi, but quickly hit a U-turn uh, when General Mkwanazi has to go to the commission and has to go to the committee, which is investigating the drug cartels. South Africa is ran by mafias. So the drug cartels, the mafias have captured, uh, basically we can say this is the real state capture. They have captured the state because they have captured the executive, who is in the form of the presidency. They have captured the judiciary, which is in the form of the courts, and they have captured the the police. They have captured the investigators, the investigation. They have captured the prosecution. They have captured journalists. So for this operation to continue, more and more people has to be captured. Tantam Kwanazi says they've captured parliamentarians. Name of Kalabana is mentioned in the commission by Mkwanazi in a negative manner. Mkwanazi negatively talk about Kalabana in the commission, and the MK parliamentarian suggest that Kalabana should be excused from the committee which is investigating Mkwanazi because she will not be able to avoid being biased, which is sensible. If somebody has already talked negatively about you somewhere, you are most probably not going to give them a proper hearing because they have already made a judgment against you somewhere else. You are, the two of you are already engaged in a war in one way or another. The suggestion that the MP Kolabanat should be should excuse herself is sensible. But Malema is defending the white woman. Like, let me get this video. Let me get this video so that you can see. Let me share this video so that you can understand what I'm trying to talk about. I did not want to share anything today, but I think some other things are better shared than spoken about.
Withdraw herself on the basis of being mentioned without any evidence being laid. That's number one. Number two, I don't even know why this matter finds itself on our table now. Because it can be that because our member was mentioned in the commission, he must recuse herself. And then when they come to our committee, our member doesn't get mentioned. And they even say perhaps on a hindsight we realize it was not necessary to mention him in a manner or her in a manner we did. There is no matter before you. So you can't reduce this committee to be a subcommittee of the commission. That everything else that is happening in the commission must happen in our committee. There is a commission for whatever reason. There is this other committee for whatever reason. So it can be that a person just gets mentioned loosely and then we get overwhelmed. There's still a lot of people who are going there. And Honorable Brandenbach is correct. There's still a lot of people who are going there. We'll sponsor your name there.
So Mkwanazi have said these people have infiltrated parliamentarians. And now one of the parliamentarians that he actually accused of having been infiltrated is Kolabanat. So if Kolabanat cannot recuse herself from the investigating Mkwanazi, how will she find herself guilty? How will she find herself guilty? How possible is that? Because obviously she will say the wrong person is Mkwanazi, for whatever reason that she's going to give. The wrong person is Mkwanazi. But Julius Malema here comes out in the commission to defend. He says what he calls our member, which are white people, which he has voted for since a long time ago. He's been voting for the Democratic Alliance to take over power in municipalities, maybe with brown envelopes for him to be able to campaign. Helen Zille have been saying that EFF is a better organization for a very long time. So him and Helen Zille, they agree on a lot of things. So it might be that the time they were voting for the Democratic Alliance all along to take municipalities without them necessarily participating in these municipalities, it had some elements of the brown envelopes from the people who are being investigated at the moment. The campaigns are being, the political campaigns. being run by the politicians needs a lot of millions, which these criminals are able to take in collaboration with the government, with the politicians and the government administrators. Uh, it is intentional. It is intentional that the government is corrupt. It is meant to be corrupt because the system itself is a corrupt system, a system which still the inheritance of uh, people, black people, uh, all of their inheritance, which is our land. This is Heritage Month. Um, we have not inherited our land. We have not inherited our rivers. We have not inherited our oceans. We've not inherited our gold. We've not inherited our minerals. Uh, we've not inherited even our economy. Up in spaces where uh, human beings are not supposed to be. So this is meant to happen because this is a colonial administration. Cyril Ramaphosa is a colonial administrator. We are under the British colony. The British and the Americans control everything that comes from South Africa. The mining, which is happening here in the Sekhukhune land, the mining of the platinum, every day you see a lot of big trucks going that direction. Big trucks. You ask yourself, how much platinum are they taking in a day? If they are using these big machines to take, how much are they taking in a day of our inheritance? So the ANC has been meant to be like this so that they sell out our inheritance to this colonial system, to the colonial administrators who are the slave traders, Cyril Ramaphosa, the slave trader, and Julius Malema, the slave trader, Democratic Alliance, who are the masters, who are the ones who are buying the slaves. Uh, those are the people who are the main players in this game in South Africa. One other reason Julius Malema has been governing with the ANC in Ekurhuleni municipality. Ekurhuleni municipality has been mentioned by Mkwanazi as one of the municipalities which has been corrupted by Ket Matlala, which has registered Ket Matlala's vehicle in the name of the municipality. Julius Malema, out of 10 EXCO members or the mayoral council members, the EFF has got 4. It's almost 50-50, and the ANC, is it ANC or have got 6 EXCO members. It's only one member up. You can't tell me all of these members are not aware of what is happening in Ekurhuleni. We have never heard of the EFF talking of the corruption that has been happening in Ekurhuleni. The EFF president, maybe one of the people who will be mentioned when it comes to the corruption that has happened in the municipality in Ekurhuleni, because the leadership, somehow they are engaged, they know about these things. when these corruptions are happening, they know about them. They actually either support or condone or condemn. So they normally condone because it comes with brown envelopes from the criminals and the cartels. So from the administration, the colonial administration at Ekurhuleni municipality, I suspect that Julius Malema may be mentioned as one of the people who had bad relationship, who got relationship with criminals because of that municipality, because he's got his people there. We wait to see what will happen. In that regard, we wait to see what will happen. I saw there's a lot of things happening. I saw President Ramaphosa at the United Nations. President Ramaphosa, uh, they cut him out. They tell him to keep quiet when he was talking about Palestine at the United Nations. They switch off his mic. As usual, African leaders, they go to the United Nations, they complain about the reforms in the United Nations because the white people don't mind them complaining. They allow them to complain. Only this time around, they have lost patience with Cyril. I don't know. Because on the other side, he's trying to be an African hero, but he knows he's controlled by white people. But he's trying to be an African hero to fool a lot of Africans. That is actually a Pan Africanist president to redeem his name to confuse a lot of people. So they control him. They switched off his mind. African president went to the United Nations, I was still saying, to complain about the reforms that they want in the United Nations. They have been complaining for years and years. I think since the formation of the United Nations, the Africans have been complaining about reforms. Recently, they have been allowed to speak more radical. Many previously were just puppet. So, but it ends up there from speaking more radical, and then they come home to see it. They are still members of the same United Nations. Who should change? Who should reform the United Nations? Why can't you tell that person straight? Why can't you go? Why can't we stop making speech and go to the person who is supposed to do the reforms and say, let's do the reform now? Who is refusing with the reforms of the United Nations? Who is refusing with the land in South Africa? If white people do want redistribution of the land, many white people acknowledge that their forefathers have stolen land in South Africa, and then the redistribution because of black people are in bad spaces would be necessary. But who is then refusing to share the land? Why are we not getting it? Why are the reforms not happening at the United Nations? Puppets, tell us. The puppets presidents, tell us. Why are you not acting? Because if people are not listening to you, if you tell them this is not working and they are not listening to you, you need to act. Why can't we withdraw Africa from the United Nations if they are refusing to reform to suit our condition? Puppets, tell us. Why can't we withdraw from this organization if it's not for Africans? Puppets should tell us what is happening. You can't be talking about the same thing. One of the things that Ramaphosa mentioned is about Palestine. It's the genocide happening in Palestine. Palestine, I mean, the genocide happening in Palestine. And he says, in South Africa, I think 60 people die every night. 60 to 80 people die every night out of murder. That's a bigger number than the people who are dying in Ukraine in a war. Are we in a war? Are we in a war? But the leaders, instead of addressing the genocide which is happening in our countries, I was talking about Miriam Makeba earlier. Many of the families have not found closure even today from the apartheid government. Nobody has ever apologized. Nobody has ever compensated their apartheid victims, which are basically all black people. And nobody has bothered to do anything about apartheid and how they ruled us, the cruel way in which they handled us. But you go to the United Nations, you talk about um, Palestine, as if in your country you are taking care of all the people. President Ramaphosa went to court to postpone paying the apartheid victims. But they take Israel to the international court. What games are they playing? They take Israel to the international court. What games are they playing there? If you care about human rights, why can't you stop killing your own people? And why can't you compensate your own people? People are dying because of the drugs. The drugs, uh, the legal and illegal drugs. The legal drugs are the biggest dollar cost on humanity. Legal drugs. As we speak now, basically all of the adult population are on legal drugs. The body does not know whether the drug is legal or illegal. The impact is the same in the body. That's why we've got crazy adults these days. It's because they are on drugs. Why can't you save people from drugs, black people from drugs, and you take Israel to the, why can't you pay the black people? The last rebellion, which is called the Bambata Rebellion, white people killed up to 4,000 people, massacred. Why can't you pay their families? Why can't you compensate their families? Why can't you take that to court and compensate their families? Why do you want to go so far to Palestine? I stand with the people of Palestine. Nobody should be killed. But I'm just saying, something is happening in your home. You are not addressing. You are addressing something next door. Why are you ignoring your own home? Why can't you address your own issues in your own home? Because more atrocities are happening in your own home, in your own country. Uh, Rape, genocide, language genocide, cultural genocide is happening while you try to save the Palestinian. I love. I don't like Israel, but I mean, why? I just wanna know. If somebody else know, you can give us the comment. Give us the comment. Why? Why are we talking about the Palestinians whom genocide fairly is being committed on them by the white people, without talking about the genocide which the white people are still committing on us and have committed on us over years, over 500 years? Why are we not addressing that? Why are we not giving black people land in South Africa to address the historic injustice of land? Why are we not opening up the economy to benefit everybody before we go to the international court to defend other people? Why can't we defend the people that we are representing, the people who voted for us to represent them? Why do we spend so much money, billions, spend it to pay lawyers? If those billions were spent to pay the victims of apartheid in South Africa, it was going to be something better. Billions of dollars have been spent by South Africa in the case against Israel, which they were supposed to pay that billion to the apartheid victims. Many people, their families have disappeared. Many people have been displaced in their homes by the apartheid system, by the white people since their arrival. Nobody has ever apologized and nobody has ever stood with black people in all of these things. Can't our leaders be able to focus and talk to the issues? Let's click the like button and subscribe. My name is Mkhonto. You are in the royal opinion. If you've been following or listening and you like what you are hearing, click the like button and subscribe to this channel so that when we got anything out, you will be able to be notified. YouTube is discriminatory against people like us who talk clear, who communicate clearly, who are not talking academics, who are just talking the language of the ordinary man on the street. YouTube does not really want that because they want to eliminate certain narratives. There are some words which they don't want on YouTube, and there are some other people. My audience is limited to 4. Every time it's more than 4, my internet will cut. That's what they do. Every time it goes beyond 4, the internet would cut. Just like they are censoring Ramaphosa in the UN, they are also censoring us on YouTube. Not that I am siding with Ramaphosa. They are doing good to censor him there because he pretends like he represents us while he's actually selling us out. Um, the slave trade, who is Ramaphosa, selling black people out and at the hands of white people, but at the same time want to pretend like a hero for black people. They did well to take the mic from him, to stop him from talking the nonsense which he was continuing to talk. Sensible things that he was saying, but nonsensical because he's conniving. He's not an honest man. We can say he's a criminal because the judge have said he's got criminal issues to answer. The judge has investigated and found that he's got criminal issues to answer to. We can say up to so far, according to that report, the president has got a case to answer, a criminal case to answer. And he's been running away from that criminal case like criminals does. So we can associate him with criminals. We're not faulty to associate him with criminals. He is associated actually with criminals. The Brian Mkhonto that they're talking about here, they say he's been campaigning for CR17. He's been his man. The Brian Mkhonto who is said to be a criminal. So he's associated to the criminals. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the live stream. I had a good time. I hope everybody who joined had a good time. Enjoy. Click the like button and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day.